Hey friends, Shay here. So today I'm here to film a review for you. We are going to be talking about a first volume in a series. This one has some controversy associated with it, so I figured y'all might want my thoughts on this, so let's go ahead and dive in. As you saw probably from the thumbnail, today's review is going to be The Titan's Bride Volume 1 by ITKZ. I don't know how that's pronounced, so I'm just gonna have it spelt. In this one, we are following these two characters on the front. So we have our human character named Koichi and our Titan character named Caius. So upon the opening of this story, we meet Koichi. Koichi is a senior in high school. He is just finishing up his senior years. He's about to take his final exams and move to the next step in life. He's finished up his school activities. And while he's at home thinking about a classmate, he starts jerking off. And while in the midst of this, he is isekai'd into the Titan world. And this Titan prince, Caius, claims that Koichi is his bride because he summoned Koichi there, and gets kind of caught and swept into the moment. So, while his junk is hanging out, Koichi is swept away by Caius to another room for some privacy. In the midst of this, they start to talk a little bit. He explains about how there was a prophecy that if he married someone from his own country, that would cause a lot of problems for the kingdom. And so the person he was engaged to, they broke things off. And he's like, I want to have love and the throne. So he goes through the arduous process of figuring out how to summon someone from another world. And he ends up summoning Koichi. From there, Koichi's like, no, I can't be your bride. One, I'm a dude. And two, I don't even think I like guys. All this kind of stuff. And Caius remembers that he is still out and still kind of hard. And so he's like, oh, you were trying to pleasure yourself. Let me help you with that. And kind of forcefully goes in and takes over and gets Koichi to come. This is very forceful in this first meeting, but things do calm down from there. I do want to tell you that. So after this first encounter, that's all the first chapter, by the way, so I've not really spoiled anything here. After that, just before Caius is about to put his enormous peen inside Koichi, Koichi finds his voice. He tells Caius he's scared and he's afraid and that he's really not okay. And Caius immediately stops, apologizes, covers him up, and they start to have a solid conversation from there. In that conversation, they make an arrangement. Caius is like, I'm not willing to give you up so immediately. Give me a month to court you. If you don't change your mind and you still want to go home at the end of the month, I'll let you go. But if you want to stay, then I want to make this work. So he's given 1 month. And so Koichi starts to learn about the Titan Kingdom, and Caius does everything he can to woo him. And throughout this, we learn that the Titan people are very sexual in their nature and are very public about their sexual acts. They don't care if people see. They are just kind of all, they all get off on it. And so with shy Japanese Koichi, he's like, no, I'm not okay with this. And Caius honors all of the times Koichi says, I'm not okay. So really, though they don't get off on the right foot, they do begin to have a very healthy dynamic as the series continues. Throughout this, we see these two face various problems, not only in size and girth, as obvious, but also in political standing. There are moments where Koichi is reminded that Caius is actually a prince, and he meets the former fiance, and there's some jealousy things that happen with that. And then the other big conflict in this particular volume involves, at a celebratory feast, Koichi consumes something that is actually toxic to him. And so they now have to go to a neighboring kingdom to get the antidote for Koichi, because it is not easy to find unless you enter the kingdom directly. So with that said, I love the art style in this, and I do really enjoy the dynamic between Koichi and Caius. I do think that it starts out a bit rough, and I can't say it doesn't, but from there, they do truly develop a relationship full of communication and a healthy sex dynamic. So with that said, I think The Titan's Bride is really good. Again, just know that their first sexual encounter, as you could say, is kind of forceful and very non-con. So just know that going in, and I think it's worth going on the journey of Koichi discovering his sexuality and Caius just falling deeply in love with him, because the way Caius adores Koichi is adorable. He's like, you're so dainty and so tiny and so perfect. And he's like, I am not. They're really cute. I really like their dynamic, honestly. I think it's wonderful. And I do think because of that initial encounter, this series does get a bad rap. I don't know if things happen further in the series that make it worse. And I know there is some discourse about the Titan skin color that has been had on this particular series. So I do want to address that. And I really don't think this is any intentional slight towards people of a different color. All of the Titans are dark-skinned. They are tall. They are beautiful and masculine. They're beautiful people. So I don't think... They're called Titans because of their size, not because they act like brutes or anything like that. So I wanted to be very clear about that so that no one has the wrong impression of the Titan people. I can't say what the mangaka meant by that, but in my reading and in my interpretation, I did not find it racist. But there are some people who do. So do know that as well. Again, I'm just happy to see people with darker skin in manga at all. So it's not something I run across often other than side characters. So to have a main race of people that are dark-skinned, I love that because I want to see that more. But I don't think this came across as racist to me. So there's my 2 cents. That's all I'm going to say about The Titan's Bride, other than I do think this one gets a bad rap, and I think it's worth a try. Try the first volume if you want. It does come sealed, so be prepared. You would have to purchase it if you want to read it, unless you can get it from a library or a friend. But I really enjoyed it, honestly, so there's that. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you're here just because you love me, leave me a basketball emoji, because he played basketball in high school, and he brings that with him to this other world. So leave a basketball emoji, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Was it all just a dream, just all in my